I'm sorry. Let me know when you're hitting the play.
And welcome to the 16th episode of Speaking of Stadia. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Aaron Cini, and as with me always is the bearded beauty, my favorite John Krasinski on the internet, too tall himself, Jacob Porter. Jacob, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm good, actually. Speaking of the beard, I have not taken good care of it lately. I've been really bad about grooming lately. I need to really clean the neck up and whatnot. So actually, right before I came on, my wife was getting my daughter ready for bed. I took care of myself. So
good for you.
This is like 10 minutes of effort.
That's same here. I actually also kind of tried to clean it up. It needs a good trim, for sure. But otherwise,
good.
Well, it looks nice. I like how your beard looks. How has life been out east in the pandemic world?
Fun, I guess. Going nowhere. It's cold, so it's been tough the last week or so. But the last week sounded really cold. It was hard to go outside. But other than that, I've been playing a lot of games. That's good. So yeah.
I mean, honestly, that brings us to the opening segment of every episode. Tell me about those sweet games you've been playing.
So this is actually going back a little bit. I forgot to talk about last time we recorded. So I put a reminder for myself to talk about these. So me and my wife actually played some games around Christmas time.
Oh, nice.
Which was nice. With the Ubisoft, used a little bit of Ubisoft Plus with the actually we play Family Feud.
Okay.
Nice. Just tried it out. We were actually going to maybe play with her family when they came over after we had kind of quarantined more for a week, but it was just way too much going on to even try playing with her family. But yeah, we played Family Feud, which was fun enough. It was like the UI was kind of interesting for that, and the animations for the people are frightening.
Oh, really?
I just think they're very it's just not how people should actually move or actually do move, and they're just really wonky. I don't know. Actually,
weird.
A little too animated, a little bit too weird for me, especially because the character models in all the other games are so good. Just take it and move it to this, but no, it's too much to ask. But yeah, otherwise, the game played fine. It's Family Feud, so
cool.
And then we also played Get Packed again, which we played a while ago when it first came out. I played it with her, and I hadn't really played it since. So I want to go back to it, see what they've added, because I know that they had a lot of coming soon at the end, and they definitely added some new levels to that. I think a whole level set, because I think we got to the end of the last time. It didn't seem like it seems like either reset or it didn't save, because I remember playing some of these levels and it hadn't said we had done them yet. So I'm not sure what that was about. It was only 2 or 3. It wasn't a ton, and then we pretty much went through the whole campaign, I think, again, just to kind of refresh ourselves. But yeah, they added a whole different level set at the end. You're in a prison, which is, I think, at least unless that was originally there, I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
But then it kind of ends, and because you become convicts, and then you become start stealing stuff, and then you become in jail members. So that was interesting. But the game is still fun. I think it's still goofy. I think my wife actually played. It was the first time we actually played on the TV with 2 controllers, because at the time I only had.
Nope, you froze on me. Make sure go to the old YouTube, see if you're frozen there too, or if it's just my stream.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Oh wow!
You're coming back.
You started. I got
shout for me.
I got loading screens on both of our videos. So.
Oh man.
Well, sorry.
That's the fun joy of doing something live, I guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna have little bumps.
Yeah. So
Also, thanks, Clive. I agree. Great.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, we what was I saying? Yeah, so but I think it was a better experience for her actually playing on the TV. I think she had a little more fun with it, as opposed to playing on my 14-inch laptop screen on my coffee table.
Sure.
So I think it was a little bit better experience for her overall. It was fun though. It's a goofy fun game. Besides that, I've actually played with my friend Kenny, who actually does listen to this as well. He got him in the Stadia. He's been getting more people in the Stadia too. We played Risk of Rain 2.
Okay.
which I played a little bit of that. I didn't like really know what was going on. It doesn't really do a good job of telling you what you need to do, and having him like Sherpa me through that game was actually really fun. I had a good time with that, and then we played a bunch of Outcasters as well. I showed him that game, and that was fun. I was worried because I know a lot of people get a lot of bot games, and we had a few bot games, but after a few 2 or 3 bot games, it was pretty much full of actual players, the same players, but it was still constantly full of players, which was really fun. Actually, really having a good challenge, even though the bots in the game are actually really good. They did a good job with the bots in that game, and then just more Immortals. I'm 30 hours in now.
Oh wow, you've been cruising on.
I've done all of Athena, Aphrodite, and Hephaestus, and I'm halfway through Ares right now.
Okay.
I've done some other side stuff. I got a Pegasus, which is really cool to ride on. So
as your mount, does it
fly? Yeah. No, it does not, unfortunately, which is kind of disappointing. But it's funny. I actually
ride.
No, I don't know. I haven't found a way to doing it, so I got to look up and see if there's a way of doing it. But it's funny because I actually found it by accident when I was it's actually in the demo, like the tutorial area.
Yeah,
like there's some islands below that are really difficult, and if you go all the way to the end of those, is the Pegasus. Sorry, spoilers. But yeah, I saw it when I was there. I didn't really realize that you can get different mounts at the time. I didn't really know how that worked, so I didn't even try to mount it there. And so I was doing some stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna go back over here and do some stuff.
Yeah,
clean up a lot of the stuff over there. Some mini missions over there that I had to open up, but couldn't finish because the enemies were too difficult to face in the beginning. They actually give you the warning, like you may want to come back and do this again. It's a little tough. So, so yeah, it's back there in that corner.
Nice. For me, last time we did the episode, you were like, every time I'm on Stadia, I see you playing Cyberpunk. Have you seen what I've been playing like nonstop now?
I'm blanking on now. I remember Fiona was actually playing whatchamacallit this weekend. She was actually playing Ghost Recon this weekend.
Oh, nice. She got it on the free app.
I didn't. I meant to do that, and I just didn't.
I did too, and I totally spaced it.
Yeah. But then I did see you playing something else. I can't remember what it is now. It's bothering me.
Hitman, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm taking down those sweet contracts.
Nice. The first one, right? Still going through the.
I literally beat the first one yesterday, and I'm about 2 missions into 2 right now.
Kenny. This is my buddy.
Kenny, I said hi to you just a couple minutes ago. Hello, nice. Kenny. Thanks for watching and hanging out. Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing so much Hitman because I find that game to be so freaking delightful that I literally can't stop. All the missions are amazing. I will say I was a little bummed out going from 1 to 2 because 1 has actually like fully animated like cinematics and everything, and the story is really intriguing, and it has like this really cool like international mystery feel to it, which I think is really awesome. And then the second one, I mean, they still have that, and the story is really good, and it's a perfect continuation of 1. But because that's when they left their publisher and they went independent, it's like the motion stills, where it's just like a still photo that they animate.
Comic booky.
Yeah, and they just kind of move around it. I didn't love that as much, but I was told starting with the DLC at the end of 2, like that was pretty consistent feedback that they got, that people were sad about that. So the end of 2 or the DLC of 2, and then all of 3, they go back to that traditional cinematic style. And
I think by that point they made enough money on that to really start funding the extra stuff. I think it kind of helped. I mean, that costs money and time, so it's
totally
not easy to animate stuff.
It was you should. Still trying to work through Cyberpunk. I took a break from Cyberpunk to play Hitman because I really want to try 3. And man, the story is so good, but it's really the missions and how you can approach everything, and like how wild some of these contracts can get as you kind of go through it is a lot of fun. It's already one that like I'm kind of rushing through 1 and 2 right now because I really want to check out 3, and I don't know.
But those games have tons of replay value. That's the great thing about it. I mean, like you can go about a mission in a different way. I remember at the time they had the whole I forget what the system was called. Do you remember what it was? It was not espionage. I was like, they had these different like missions that were going on as the seasons went on in the first game.
Yeah.
As they're putting episodes out, they had like I forget what they're called now. Like Inquisition, or the Eye. I can't remember what it was, but so that was really cool. Like you could they'd have like you had to wasn't Sean Bean? They had a whole thing with to kill
all the different ways to kill Sean Bean. I do vaguely remember.
There was like one about killing Sean Bean. Like they did a lot of really cool stuff in concert when the game was actually live and coming out.
Yeah.
So you kind of missed a lot of that cool like zeitgeist part of that game, but it still is a really good game. It, again, has tons of replay value. So
so there's already some missions that I've like started marking down and wanting to remember that I'll go back because I know there's different ways that I want to approach it, and the moment to moment like gameplay of that is so good. And it creates really fun, like retellable stories about how you approach something. And I think it's one of those games that you could talk to 10 different people and they might have 10 different stories on a specific mission, you know? So that's been consuming most of my time. I am still jumping in and out of Cyberpunk. I haven't even thought about Assassin's Creed. And when I'm not playing any of those, I've been jumping into Immortals again.
Did you do that for Immortals? Did you do these the timed quest that they have for that? There's a limited time quest for that
Netflix show.
Yeah, it actually gives you a pretty interesting item that like just constantly strikes people with lightning. It says it's like a 5% chance of like hitting lightning, but I feel like it gets hit all the time.
Huh?
I feel like it gets so many hits with that thing. So
is that over?
No, it ends the 28th.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that's at midnight 28th, like, or when that timing is, but yeah, the next like 2-3 days. I mean, that'll be done.
I'll have to remember that and go back and check it out.
It's really quick. I mean, you haven't really uncovered that area where it is. You actually have to go to the King's Peak for that. But
okay, cool. Then I'd have some work to do, but I'll try it.
I mean, you can still go there. You just won't have the map unlocked. That's all.
Right.
I don't even have the King's Peak unlocked. So I tried climbing. It won't let me. It hits you with a invisible wall of cold.
That's sad.
Yeah, but you still go on the island. You just can't climb up too high.
Sure, but cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we ready to jump into some news on Stadia over the last couple weeks?
Well, actually, real quick, I just want to shout out one board game I've been. I posted on.
You need to start a board game podcast.
I need to start a board game podcast. No, I actually really don't. I don't play enough board games. I don't know enough about board games. But yeah, Lawsons are I got that. I've been playing that actually solo. It's just really fun.
Is that when you're like lost tonight because there's like an AI element to it?
Yeah. It's really cool. Like a lot of those board games have a solo mode. They have like an automata or like bot system that are actually really cool. So it's just a deck of cards that like does actions for it. So, but yeah, if you like board games, that game's awesome. It's like on back order for like months right now, but I got my copy and I was like I wanted to like show it off because I always talk about board games on here too. So
I love it.
Get that outlet out.
Also, before we jump into the news, we do have just a little bit of housekeeping. For anybody watching or listening later on podcast services, we did want to announce that while we've always been like, we're going to do this show whenever we want to do this show, since we've been going live, we wanted to kind of solidify a schedule. So we will be here every other Monday. I think our times will probably shift maybe a little bit.
8:30,
right around 8:30 Eastern.
My daughter was we had to give my daughter a bath tonight. It was a little late, so
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But just know it's going to be every other Monday starting now. So next Monday, no show. Monday after that, show. So on and so forth. Any scheduling stuff comes up, obviously hit us up on Twitter at Speak of Stadia, not Speaking because that was too long. And that's where we'll kind of post that type of stuff. But there you go. We actually have a set schedule after 16 episodes. Look at us. Look at us, just growing.
Yeah, I just want to get the feels.
Yeah,
how we want to do it. And then.
So I'll probably announce that the next couple episodes just so everybody's aware. But now you know. Cool. So our first story of the night is not really a story, more of just a discovery. Turns out Resident Evil Village not coming to Stadia.
Yeah, well, which is interesting because there was a bunch of there was a whole ransomware attack they had, and it was like leaked that they paid like $10 million to get RE7 and 8 on Stadia, and then they had the reveal event last week with the very sexy vampire lady that everyone's very, very horny for.
They are. I mean,
I don't blame them.
That lady with her,
but yeah. So we, but no Stadia logo, no Stadia announcement. There's a demo that's not on Stadia, like just no Stadia, and everyone's very, very confused by that. So. We thought we were finally like getting a big get with Capcom because I don't think we have a Capcom game yet. So I've been like popping that cherry for Capcom, and it's a little disappointing. I mean, I'm not an RE fan by any means, but I know a ton of people who are,
I thought 7 was a really cool remake, and I really my 2 is my favorite. But
did you play the remake for 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's very pretty, very.
I heard
cool.
3 was like so. It was like fine. It's just not a great game. Like the base game 3 is not everyone's favorite. It was the problem.
And super short was the big thing that.
Yeah, I think they cut some content out of it or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, that would have been a huge get. It may still happen. It may just be a delayed announcement. It may still, but it's a game you want day and date, and I think it really hurts. I mean, the whole thing, City doesn't have games, the whole argument, and looking at the next year, what do we have really coming out? That we know is day and date with Stadia as other releases. We don't really know much.
Right.
I mean, third parties are getting bought up, unfortunately. With granted, Sony already had the exclusives for Deathloop and what's the other one? Is it Ghostwire Tokyo? I think there's the other one.
I think so. I think Ghostwire was the other time.
They had the time exclusive. So already there's 2 big third-party games that are playing. Were playing well with Stadia, that are now gone. Essentially, it's like the outlook for this year isn't really looking too great right now in terms of third-party AAA stuff. Yeah. Outside of the obvious Ubisoft stuff we're getting.
Right, that we'll be getting day and day one.
Like Far Cry 6 we have coming up, which is like, okay, that's cool. We gotta get that at least, but beyond that, I don't really see anything massive coming our way. It's kind of
and I think it seems like it was kind of quiet this time last year too. It seems like as the year kind of progresses, they'll start building out more and more, and we'll kind of get some of those bigger reveals. And hopefully, Stadia can continue to do that. Right, like at this point, I understand like not every single AAA title is going to be jumping out here, but yeah, I think overall we'll get more news as the year progresses.
Yeah, that's a big game for the first half of the year. Mm-hmm. Other like big game besides Far Cry that would have been nice to have outside of the. I mean, we already know we get the Ubi games, so it's like
I'm gonna take Hitman 3 as a win. That was big.
That's true. That's true. We do have Hitman 3. Forgot about that. That is true. That is this. It just feels like it's still 2020.
I know.
Doesn't feel like a new year yet.
Yeah. Look at those faces from Travail.
That face.
Some might say, face. Look at those faces
of Stadia. Everyone not the kind of funny group would not get that because he claims that he's the face of Stadia when he is playing and what's the space game that is Everscape? Yeah, Everscape on PS4 because he's a liar.
Fake fan. It's fine. Yeah, just kidding. All right, our next news story of the night: Square Enix, a Final Fantasy VII remake coming to Stadia. My note is probs.
Yeah, probably not. Some rumor that was on Reddit. Do you want to pull that article up, or
I do? I have it right here. So it's not really an article; it's more of a Reddit post. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, 7 million copies digitally sold, shipped, and only on PlayStation. 400+ million in total game revenue earned. Final Fantasy VII Remake next gen releases in May. PS5, PC staggered Stadia release. Some kind of paid upgrade is expected. Announcement next month. Next installment is expected to be next gen only on Unreal Engine 5, and then they're also going to do a Netflix related project with it. Yeah, what do you think of this news? This idea that
this rumor,
right?
That really, news, but, I mean, Stadia has bought real exclusives. I mean, clearly they have. Everyone does, so I can see them trying to buy like I guess again because all the Bethesda stuff's gone. They have to go big with another publisher. They already have Ubisoft in tow. So what else is there? The other big company, AAA company, is going to be Square Enix. So if you can get that one game that's still not on Xbox, at least get like the Xbox fans like, hey, I can't play it on a PlayStation. I don't want to spend money on a PlayStation. I can just play on Stadia and not buy
with
a console.
Xbox controller.
Exactly.
And be set to jet.
Granted, how many we don't know going forward with how the percentages are going between PlayStation and Xbox really yet. But still, it's cool. I hope it's. I mean, it seems actually honestly realistic. Because again, it's probably not going to actually happen. But I can see Google dumping some money to get a big game like that. Granted, it's going to be like a year later, which kind of stinks. But
this would get me to go back.
Is that I haven't played it yet. Granted, because I haven't really touched my PlayStation very much anyway, and I just been playing on Stadia mostly.
I mean, yeah,
exactly. Like, I mean, if I hadn't played Jedi Fallen Order already, I would have played on Stadia.
100%. Yeah. Which I'm a sucker. I love that game so much. I bought it on Stadia anyways and started playing through it again. And now the kid is playing it and absolutely in love with it. So
yeah,
it's been good. Also, we love you, Travail. You're great. And Kenny, thanks for hanging out. Jakey, go play games with your friends, man.
Yeah,
they miss you.
I would gladly play games with him. I told him I will play Division. I got Grindel Division 2 and play with him and his other friend. Because apparently that game, even although I wonder how that works with the whatchamacallit, not the picture-in-picture thing. I forget what the buzzword for that is. The picture play on Division 2.
I don't remember.
Because he's been playing with someone on Steam because it is cross-play even with that, which is kind of cool. I didn't realize it was actually was the case. It was cross-save. I didn't realize cross-play. So he's been playing with his friend on Steam. So I wonder if I was playing with him, if we would still get picture-in-picture and his friend would just not be in it. I don't know. Be interesting. I want to kind of try that out. So they're like a level 12 or something like that. So I got to grind a little bit in that. But I know we were playing that for a little bit, but it's hard to.
That one is really, multiplayer games. It's tough to set up sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Our next story of the night is Cyberpunk Patch work. That 1.1 patch notes were released. Brand new let me share the screen. Amateur hour. Patch 1.1 is now available for Cyberpunk 2077. This, of course, comes from our good friends over at Stadia Source. A brand new patch for Cyberpunk 2077 is now available on Stadia. Patch 1.1 focuses on stability improvements for the game as well as laying some groundwork for future updates. You can see the full patch works below. Stability. Various stability improvements include memory usage improvements, various crash fixes related to, among others, loading saves, game opening, closing, and points of no return.
So I
won't go through all of these that it's going to fix. Some big visual.
Pause this video and just if you're watching on the video, pause it, look at the screen, enjoy, look at our faces too while you're at it, Google over us a little bit, and then keep scrolling again.
Exactly. That's all you got to do. And if you're an audio listener, go to Stadia Source, check out the patch notes. You'll find it there. Stadia specific was interesting. Concert audio should no longer be inaudible and never fade away. I had not been to that one yet. I don't think so. So I don't think I had that issue. Fixed corrupted textures on several melee weapons and tweaked default dead zone settings to be more responsive. Note, the change will not affect settings unless they're set to default.
Okay.
Do you have anything that you want to say about these patch notes?
The hashtag it worked already.
The hashtag what?
It already worked.
I mean, I haven't had any issues.
You said you had like one or two minor things, right?
Yeah, I've had a few weird little issues. I'm not really Stadia related though.
Yeah, I'm just
Dominic, thanks for joining us, man. Always good to see you, Dom. We want to come in and podcast with you again soon.
Yeah.
So for me, like everything was always bug related. Like one of the issues was there's these things called cyber psychos that you have to hunt down as a big side mission. And in one of those missions, as soon as I left, there were two guys that it looked like I could go talk to for a side mission. Like it wasn't super important, but they were just like floating up in the air and I couldn't talk to them because they were floating. And if you did anything like tapped them or anything to get them down, they would fall and they would take that as an attack and then they would fight you. And no matter how many times I loaded that up, it was just always like that.
Okay. So,
and then I had one big mission bug with a boss and then another one that I clipped out because I thought it was hilarious. I was walking down the street and a bunch of cars were floating. And I was like, huh. So I pulled over on my bike. I took a screenshot and then I walked closer to them. And as soon as I walked closer to them, it was like the game realized what ground level was and all the cars fell from the sky, exploded and killed me.
I discovered gravity. You discovered gravity.
Exactly. It was like I was the trigger point though. I got close and the cars were like, this isn't where we're supposed to be. And they just collapsed and destroyed me. And I don't know, when games have bugs like that, like I'm good to just laugh and move on and it's great. So but other than that, a couple floating guns here and there, nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
So yeah, I'm glad to see that they're doing this. I did see a report earlier today, which I should have put in the notes, but the new patch created a new game-breaking bug.
Of course.
That's hard to say. Game-breaking bug? Yeah.
Yeah.
But CD Projekt Red came out with a workaround. They told people how to get through it, and they're going to try to patch
Oh,
it
so
out.
not even a hot fix. It was just like, hey, like just don't do this. And then,
yeah, exactly. They're like, hey, if you do this, it won't do it until we get it fixed. But we're aware, and this is your quick workaround.
Hopefully get a hot fix for that this weekend or something like that. That'd be good.
Yeah. So, a lot of Reddit stories tonight. We also have La Total.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. I was surprised no one talked about this, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of unique. So I'm not sure do you have that article ready or not?
Oh, I got everything ready, baby.
Yeah, girl.
I'm always here. Yeah, this comes from Reddit. Why don't you walk us through this one?
Yeah, so just like apparently with the Project Hailstorm APK teardown, like this is another thing that like line of code that was found saying La Total play anywhere, La Total 100 games. And La Total is French, just the total, or the whole thing is what it translates to. Someone actually comments that down below as well. So could it be Ubisoft getting like Ubisoft has about 100 games, 110, I want to say 108. So it could be getting all the Ubisoft games. I mean, it's in French, which is unique. Like, why would it be in French? Because La Total. So people are speculating it could be Ubisoft getting all the games for that, or something else, another something. I don't know. But this was interesting. It'd be really cool to finally get all the Ubisoft games on there. Be a really big selling point. I'm not sure if with all the patching, all the porting of the dozen games we have already, if in that process they figured out a quick way of patching back all the old games.
That'd be cool.
Or yeah. I don't know, just a little thing I want. Like, I didn't see anyone talking about it at all. I saw this randomly on Reddit. I'm like, it only has 17 upvotes. I'm like, how does this like?
This seems like bigger news, than what Reddit's making it out to be.
So again, it could be a simple. And they said something about some placeholder images for. I actually pulled the article up and use I can only read so well, but there was a whole thing about a pre-order. What was in there? The images were quite plain and generic, which leads to think the simple placeholder image. Alongside other subscription images. So it's like it had to do subscription stuff too. So who knows really what, like, I don't know, it could be cool. I don't know.
If they gave you the entire, and that's kind of what we were talking about.
It's in the subscription folder, is what it says. It says in the subscription folder, there was some images related to all subscriptions. There's some stuff that explained Ubisoft Plus logos and other pro features, but also a couple more ones like this line of text. So that was the really unique part about it. So
yeah. If they gave you the entire access to all of Ubisoft's games, what would you go play first?
The other Ubisoft games? Absolutely. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Come on.
Oh, let's go.
Dominic, want to pull up Dominic's comment?
Yep. Which, we were saying it was related to Ubisoft pulling in the rest of their games.
I'm not sure if Dominic, you're talking about the fact that they say up to 100 games on Ubisoft Plus, and saying that could be an ad they pull in the store. I guess if you're trying to say that, I mean that's possible. It'd be odd for them to advertise 100 games on Stadia and not have them on Stadia. So that's where it gets kind of unique. I guess it's more of like, hey, does it mean we're finally getting the whole catalog of Ubisoft Plus over? Yeah, and that's really what I think it probably is. I don't think it's anything else beyond that, but. If it's foreshadowing for getting more Ubisoft games, yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
Oh, Siege would be huge. Siege would absolutely be huge. But the thing is, like, I wonder if Siege would be the one game they add, because the one game they don't have on Ubisoft Plus is Just Dance 2021. Like the Just Dance games are not on Ubisoft Plus, which I thought was odd. Like, why not those games? But I guess licensed music maybe costs too much and they can't license
probably.
But it's just one of those odd things. So Siege, I'm not sure if Siege is playable. I'm assuming it is on PC, but I wonder if that's when they'll bring over on Stadia. I hope so. This game. My buddy wants me to play Siege so badly with him, and if I can play crossplay,
I could do it. That would finally happen.
I'd get him to get on Stadia and play with me.
Yeah. See? Speaking of new games, Madden 21 finally, and you can check it out for free to see if it's going to be your jam. This comes from 9to5google.com. In 2020, Google and EA confirmed that the publisher would be bringing some of its biggest titles to Stadia, including Jedi Fallen Order, FIFA, and Madden. After an excruciating wait, the day is finally here. Madden NFL 21 launches on Stadia this Thursday, January 28th, 2021. The game will be launching alongside a free weekend that's available for all platforms between January 28th and January 31st.
And then I think a discount of supposed to be 60% afterwards is what this is all from a leak that someone found, but
okay. Superstar
$30 discount
60% off through February 8th on Stadia and other platforms. That will bring the game's cost down to about $30 in the US. Pretty big discount. Unfortunately, they are still being, it is worth noting that they're still being quiet about when FIFA will arrive on Stadia, as well as what the other two titles that the company promised are. Still, we're very happy to finally see this game arrive. I am going to make a comment that is not super positive. This feels a little too late to me.
Right in time for Super Bowl, though. Come on.
Sunday next weekend.
No, it's 2 weeks.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this weekend. It's funny because the article said about making your own Pro Bowl, because there's no Pro Bowl this year because of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they're still taking the week off because usually there'll be a championship game, Pro Bowl, and then the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so first weekend of February. But again, I don't want to pay $30 for a game I'm going to completely forget about come February 8th.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably still play.
I just quit playing Madden.
I'll play for like a week and then like a crack addict and then just stop playing as well. Because that's what I do with Ultimate Mutt gets me like for like a week. But like the whole fun of Mutt is to play along the season. They have their events going on through the season. They'll go play through. And I'm sure the same things for FIFA. FIFA, even soccer. Besides the MLS, us here in the soccer fans, I know it's football for you. I was throwing words today with association football
after it.
It's association football, aka soccer. It used to be called that in England. Then the U.S. started calling it soccer. And then the English people were like, no, we're calling it football now. And they're like, but we still want to call it soccer over here. So association football games. The seasons are fairly far through in the soccer world. And by the time that FIFA actually comes out, this could also again similarly be the end of the season. Right. So it's like all the like cups are going on right now. Like it's missing the whole boat. I just feel it's just a little too late. I know they said winter, but like who really thinks that winter doesn't start in November? I had a conversation with my wife. Like winter technically starts December 20th.
Right.
I think it's the 20th. But then around that. But we really at least above the Mason-Dixon line, it is. It starts in November.
Yeah, for sure. I will say this: what this gives me hope for is that they have figured out how to make this work on Stadia. So I'm hoping next year we'll get a day and date.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I think next year
comes out day one.
Yeah. I don't think
especially because these games are mostly copy and pasted.
Yeah. Change roster.
Move players here. Change stats.
New photos for all the players.
New game. I mean, I'm kidding. I know that a lot more work.
They change the engine like every 3 years. They do.
Yeah. But it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, speaking of other new games, our next story is talking about Journey to the Savage Planet added to free with Pro in February. I am pumped about this.
Yeah.
This also comes from 9 to 5 Google. As announced last year, Journey to the Savage Planet is headed to Google Stadia, but now we have an official release date. The game is hitting Stadia on January 28th. Arriving on the same day as EA's Madden NFL 20, Journey to the Savage Planet will be the latest game available for free to Stadia Pro subscribers. The game was developed by Typhoon Studios, which Google acquired last year to help push Stadia games and entertainment in its developer of first-party games. On Twitter today, former Typhoon Studios director Alex Hutchinson confirmed that Journey to the Savage Planet would arrive on Google Stadia on January 28th. He claims that the date was previously announced, but as far as we can tell, that's not actually the case. January launch has been expected for a while, though, and it's great to see.
Actually, there's an update on there. It was actually the first February 1st with Pro. Actually, it was an incorrect date.
Which makes sense. If they're going to release on Pro, why release it 3 days early just to see if somebody's going to purchase this? And then ask for a refund because it's within 3 days that something else has happened. So
it's a dumb move to do that 3 days before, and they've done that a few times. Where like a game will be added to Stadia just in general a week earlier than like I think Get Packed was one of them where I think I bought it and it was on Pro. I think the next 2 weeks later it's on Pro. So kind of feels bad when they do that, but they hadn't announced it was going to be on Pro like this when we know it's going to be on Pro and it launches, so it would be dumb to put it out 3 days early. But yeah, I did try that game on the xCloud beta because ironically it was on the xCloud beta before it was on Stadia, even after they bought them. I think it was fun. It's a good little like time waster, just going around collecting things and unlocking things. It's not a time waster. You're exploring a really cool, colorful world.
Right.
The humor is really well done. I think it's a game that's really worth it. It seems like a good get for Stadia. The pretty solid developer. Unfortunately, the news came from a very controversial guy. That guy that had the whole Twitter storm of publishers should charge. So. Unfortunately, he's a good news source for his games, but
not a good look when he was like, if you stream games, you should pay for it instead of you should be able to monetize this because you're giving us advertisement to all your viewers. But I digress. We also have a couple of other new things, which brings me to a new segment of the show. What's new, Stadia Cat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not even the singer. I just really wanted to do that as I was writing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that.
I don't think anybody was. I'm barely ready for it half the time. Let's go, baby. Okay, our first game here is you say it.
Pinocchio? I don't know.
Piku-niku. Oh, I bet that's it.
Oh, no, I think you're right. It's Piku-niku. I think you're right.
It sounded very cute in Japanese when I said it, so it just sounds correct.
Piku-niku. Okay, there you go. You crushed it. First try. Crushed it.
The game was originally discovered on the German ratings board by Gem on Twitter 4 months ago.
Gem.
But as with anything rating, we never knew fully accurate when they were going to be released. Here's a trailer for the game, though, to familiarize yourself with it. I haven't watched this trailer.
Do you want to? We had the technology. We can throw the trailer up. Sorry for the audio listeners, but we can at least describe what this. I watched it already. It's wonky. It is a funky looking game. Imagine Katamari, levels of wonky, but 2D.
Okay.
So it's just a goofy game. It seems like it's a fun, playful, lighthearted game of you're these blobs or different shapes in this weird world and kind of walk funny and. Reminds me a little bit of Hohokum. Reminds me a bit of Hohokum. If you ever played that on PlayStation,
I didn't.
You did not. Okay, so Hohokum's it's a really chill game where you're just going around collecting stuff. So, it's kind of artsy, very interesting art style, kind of unique look to it. Kind of like this is a very striking art style, but yeah, it just looks like a fun little.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Audio listeners, as he said, we're just kind of describing the trailer. You can go look it up. It's Piku-niku, and that's Pikuniku. It does look like a fun, cute little indie game. Go check it out. Also, if you ever want to come check out the show, we're on YouTube. I would love to tell you a URL, but we don't have 100 subscribers yet. Cool. Okay. And that game was originally supposed to come out on January 21st, 2021.
4 days ago.
It does, in fact, now come out February 2nd.
And that means it will not be a pro game.
Nope.
Probably.
I think it's only $10.
I think part of the rumor with the probably incorrect date with the at least I suspect incorrect date with Journey to Savage Planet is I think there's a rumor that they're going to announce the games that day. So maybe he thought they're going to announce it that day and that got confused. I don't know, but it's either tomorrow. I saw people on Twitter. I saw why am I blanking on his name right now? Duncan posting stuff about it possibly being some announcements tomorrow. So who knows?
Interesting. Next up on What's New, Stadia Cat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're welcome. I'm going to keep doing it. You're
not getting FIFA, but how about
Street Power Football?
How about bargain bin FIFA Street?
Oh God, this looks like a game that was made. And ESRB Entertainment Software Ratings Board listing has been put up for Street Power Football or soccer, depending on where you're from, to come to Stadia. This also comes from our good friends over at Stadia Source. I'm not sure if Dom is still here, but please go check them out. Those guys are awesome and definitely feed us a lot of news for this show. I'm gonna watch this trailer too, because by God,
I mean, I love FIFA
are
Street back
missing
in the,
out on this guy changing all these clothes
FIFA
and
Street.
hitting a ball into a very small goal, and then you can also break dance.
You can do freestyling stuff. Like, well, the guy on like the cover is some sort of like freestyle trick artist, I guess. That he's wearing his sweet sponsored Red Bull hat because it's clearly sponsored by Red Bull, and this game is clearly funded by Red Bull.
Right.
Who actually owns 3 soccer teams, if you didn't know that.
Some of this like trick shot stuff you can do looks like it has like almost a Tony Hawk vibe in the sense of like, see if you can bend it into the cement mixer.
Yeah.
Like I won't be surprised if you don't have to spell football with different tricks at some point.
I will say that it doesn't look completely terrible.
It looks fun.
The freestyle stuff looks absolutely pointless to me.
In this game.
It's me at the end. The guy named Jacob. The freestyle stuff looks just boring.
Yeah,
I care less. Like if you give me like a FIFA Street, like sure. Like I love FIFA Street. I love all the Street games. NBA Street was great, and Madden NFL Street was great too. Like
kind of forget that.
Why they stopped making those games was really sad. But because they also kind of had that. I guess even still, they kind of had that Tony Hawk like feels in the street, like Tony Hawk kind of feels to him. So I like those games a lot.
Yeah, this one looks fun. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. Like, it doesn't really pique my interest. If it's a pro game, I'm gonna hit claim and maybe mess around in it. But it's not one that's gonna grab my wallet. Let me put it that way.
No. I mean, if it goes like on deep discount for something like $5, I'll grab it. But I'm not that desperate for a soccer game.
Yeah,
association football.
Unlike some people who just cannot wait for it.
For the FIFAs. Oh, my one coworker is like, he's like, I'm not even sure if I even get FIFA at this point. He's a big soccer fan.
Just so I know the next one's coming out on it. That's what I'm going to start saying about all these EA games. Get the first one out so I know that you can copy the formula going.
Well, we're on the topic of FIFA. Now we know some games that are out and coming out for EA, and the fact they don't have a Star Wars license really going forward. What do you think the other 2 EA games are? Well, we have some time to kill. I think actually one might be Squadrons at this point.
You think we're gonna get Squadrons?
I'm just thinking like what else could, unless they're straight just unannounced games, but like we've had the whole Game Awards season.
I think one is
announced.
I think one's the Mass Effect remake.
Oh, you think it's the Mass Effect remake?
I do think we're gonna get.
So I don't think we got a logo. Well, did they even drop any logos when that trailer released? I don't think so. So probably right then. If that's coming this, is that even coming this year though? Oh yeah. We'll get that first quarter. Early second quarter. Okay. Early second. Some claims right here. I know. I'm claims. It's we didn't have a ton of news. Let's get wild. I'm singing songs. I'm throwing out predictions. Who knows what happens? I may be confusing with the because I did do that tease for the Mass Effect is coming back thing, right? Didn't they do like a little tease for that? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm confusing those two. I think because they did do a little like that one girl that everyone likes. I never played Mass Effect. That's again, it's a big blind spot in my gaming repertoire. That I don't. I like Star Wars. I don't love like space themed things otherwise, like sci-fi like that doesn't really get me. Like Star Trek and like Battlestar Galactica just do not do it for me. But I like Star Wars because it's like a fantasy. Star Wars is a fantasy world set in space. Oh yeah, there's even like a huge group of people who get mad if you call it sci-fi. It's sci-fantasy. Yeah, exactly. Like I like that vibe more. But sir, this could be our last episode ever. I'll play. I want to play. It wasn't. I only had a PlayStation. It wasn't on PlayStation at the time. They did 2. They did that webcomic intro thing. Mm-hmm. When they got 2, I'm like, I don't want to play some webcomic when everyone says 1 is fantastic. Whenever they do bring it, if they ever do bring it to PlayStation, I'll play it then. The story they did later on, fantastic, but the leap in game quality that 2 takes from going back. Insane. People saying going back to 1 is rough because it's not. It's a good game, but 2 is where it got great. 3, the gameplay is good, but the story is at least the original ending was not great. I don't mind 3. I like 3, but 2 is absolutely one of the best games. a lot of people didn't like the blatant, obvious like analogy to like Shepard and the whole yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know I know the general like ending, if you will, of the original before they did the DLC to fix the ending. Because that's apparently a thing.
And then we have a new one coming out that I think they're going to try to tie in at some point. But no, you got to get it on Mass Effect. It's fantastic, and if it comes to Stadia, you'll have no excuse. So
don't worry about it. I'll play it. My camera quality got really bad all of a sudden. Oh, cleaned it up a little bit.
You kind of dipped in and out today on stream.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, I'm not hardlined in. That's probably a part of it. I mean, hardlining because my work laptop is still on because I need to do some work after this, and I didn't unplug it.
Okay.
So I'm on the 5 gigahertz.
The gigahertz.
My one professor in college used to call gigahertz, and it really made me laugh because he had a very heavy Slavic accent. It was kind of humorous.
That's incredible.
Very, very nice man. He just was very hard to listen to because he was very quiet and had a very heavy accent. Very tough, but
awesome. Well, that does it. Our shortest episode ever of Speaking of Stadia.
Yeah.
News. And honestly, that's okay. If we're hitting that 45 to an hour mark, you don't care.
I mean, if you need me to talk more about board games,
we're going to be speaking of Stadia and board games going forward. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. If you didn't know, everybody, again, this is Speaking of Stadia. Please check us out on YouTube. You can just search for Speaking of Stadia. And if you could click subscribe, we're just over halfway to the 100 mark. The only reason that's important to us is we want that unique URL. I would love to tell you guys to check us out on youtube.com/speaking of Stadia, but it only happens with your help. So please go slap that subscribe button. Even if you're mostly just an audio listener, it would help us out tremendously. Otherwise, Jacob, any final words for the wonderful people at home?
Oh, damn, I was trying to do something really funny and find our URL. Besides that, no, I don't have anything else to say. Just get out there and play some Stadia, everyone.
Go play that Stadia. You don't
play that free Madden this weekend if you like that gridiron football.
And here's some things you need to know. You don't need a Chromecast, okay? Stop saying it. You don't need a Stadia controller. Use whatever's at home. You just need a Gmail account, and you don't have to pay for Pro every single month and also purchase video games. That's not how it works. Sorry, those are all the questions I've been answering recently. So that's how Stadia works. Go check it out. It's literally risk-free. All you need is a friggin' Gmail account.
Yeah.
So some people listen to this and they don't play Stadia. They just want to support us. But now it's time. It's time. We're growing. Dadbeard Nerds recently, they put out a really fun little 7-minute review. Anthony is their main host. I sent him out one of the premiere editions. If you want to hear just like a really tight, concise experience of first time with Stadia, it's only 7 minutes long and it's fantastic. He had a little bit of issue with setup, but otherwise, was really enjoying it. So I would definitely suggest go listen to that.
Yeah, I guess the setup process can be a little tough because you need to use your control. Like I was trying to set up the controller you got me. You can just sing of the controller, through the Chrome, and it was oh, you can't connect. Go open the app and connect it that way. It's well, that's kind of a pain. What if I
just let me just plug in the buttons and then my controller?
I mean, if I plugged it in and played that way, but you need to do the update too, the one on this firmware because controllers have firmware now, which is a thing. Yeah, but I can see it being a little cumbersome for someone. It's not quite like plug in. Press start and then like a PlayStation, power up and log into your account.
Yeah, totally.
It's not that bad, but it's a few hoops to jump through.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks on a Monday night on this YouTube channel. Otherwise, we are on all the podcast services you could ever imagine except for Apple. But screw those guys anyways. I don't care. I'm over it.
They don't want Stadia on there anyway.
The worst. My buddy, we started a new podcast. I'm at Robot One. Apple had us up in 4 hours. So I was like, submit for me. Just see if it works. Anyways, thanks so much for listening, everybody. You have a wonderful night and enjoy the future of video games.
Bye.
Bye.